I aborted my 4-month pregnancy after finding out my husband was cheating, and served him divorce papers the next morning. When I tell people I aborted my 4-month pregnancy the morning after finding out my husband cheated, they look at me like I'm a monster. But they didn't see what I saw. It was a Thursday night. He texted me saying he'd be working late again. I believed him. I always did. I was 4 months pregnant, exhausted, nauseous, and holding on to this idea that all the pain would be worth it once we had our baby. At around 11:30 p.m., I got a message from a random woman on Instagram. I didn't know he was married. I thought you should know. Attached were screenshots, texts, selfies, voice notes. My husband. The man I was carrying a child with, telling another woman she made him feel alive again. I sat there, staring at my phone while the TV flickered in the background. My whole body went cold. He came home smelling like her perfume. I asked, "Did you enjoy your late shift?" He froze. I held up my phone. She told me everything. He didn't deny it. Just stood there with that pathetic deer in headlights look and whispered. It was a mistake. I laughed. You made that mistake for 3 months. He tried to reach for me. I stepped back. My belly brushed against the counter, and I remember thinking, this child deserves better than this. That night, I lay awake. He slept in the guest room like a coward. Around 4 a.m., I felt the baby kick for the first time. And I just broke. Because I couldn't imagine bringing a child into a world where their father was a liar, and their mother would cry every time she looked at him. At 8 a.m., I drove to the hospital. The nurse asked if someone was coming with me. No, I said. He's the reason I'm here. When it was over, I went home. He was sitting at the kitchen table, pretending to work. He smiled, actually smiled, until he saw the hospital band still on my wrist. His face went pale. You didn't. You did. You killed it. He started crying. Real tears this time, but not out of love, out of shame. I could see it. He wasn't grieving the baby. He was grieving his image. I can't believe you do that, he said. You killed more than just my trust, I told him, and left the divorce papers on the counter. I packed my things. Didn't even take the framed wedding photo. The woman in that picture was gone anyway. 2 days later, he showed up at my mom's house crying in the driveway. We can fix this, he begged. No, you broke something that can't be fixed. I made one mistake. You made choices. Every single time you texted her. Every time you came home and kissed me after sleeping with her. He called me heartless. I told him I finally found mine. A week later, the other woman dumped him. Apparently, she didn't know I was pregnant. When she found out, she posted the screenshots online and tagged him. Everyone saw. His job. His friends. His family. He called me again, screaming that I ruined his life. I laughed and said, you did that when you took off your ring. After that, silence. I moved out, changed my number, started therapy. I didn't want revenge. I wanted peace. He lost both. A few months later, I got an email from him. I still see you in my dreams. I replied. That's where I belong. Somewhere you can't reach. I used to think healing meant forgiving him. But it wasn't that. Healing meant forgiving myself, for loving a man who didn't deserve it. I didn't lose a husband. I lost a parasite. And with him gone, I finally grew back into myself. Now, when people ask if I regret it, the abortion, the divorce, the silence, I say no. Because the day I ended that pregnancy, I ended the cycle of betrayal, pity, and waiting for him to change. And I don't regret choosing myself. Not for a second.